here yet, or something's holding her up. But we also have the mayor of Tempe slotted to speak, Mark Mitchell. Once again, not sure if he's here. And then we have the vice mayor of Tempe, Lauren Colby. Lauren, I hate to put you on the spot. Can I have you come and speak?
Thank you. I am so honored to be here representing our city, representing Mayor Mitchell. I was about to say Vice Mayor Mitchell. Mayor Mitchell and the council to tell everyone here that hate has no home in our community. And what I do want to say is that love does have a home in our community. I think to the Islamic Community Center and what happened last year when this community center was desecrated by white supremacists who came into this community center and filmed a hateful video that went viral. And how did this community respond? We responded with a vigil, but more importantly, the entire community center responded by inviting those white supremacists to the community center to talk to them about Islam. How amazing is that? That's our city. That's this mosque. That's our Muslim community. It's very tough here not to get political, but I can't help myself, right, Fred? I can't help myself because we know that our president said that white supremacy is not on the rise. Yet we know that the white supremacist who's charged with the murder of 50 people, and keep in mind, 50 people, there are 50,000 Muslims in New Zealand. 1 of every 1,000 Muslims in New Zealand was murdered. Put that into your mind. It's unbelievable. So when you think about the impact that can have on a community, it's just devastating. So our president needs to know that his language, his hateful, vile language, is responsible for the deaths of hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands of people. And we need to, we're speaking in some ways to the choir, to the most compassionate and kind amongst us. But we need to know that in less than 2 years, we have an election, and we have an opportunity to turn back against hate and to embrace love, not just in our community, not just in our state, but in our country, and thereby the world. And thank you so much for inviting me here tonight.
Thank you very much for those heartfelt words. Next, I would like to invite the president of the NAACP, Roy Tatum. Not sure if he's here yet, so we'll go ahead and move on. Next, I would like to introduce our junior imam, our ASU chaplain, Imam Omar Tawil.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings and the mercy of God be upon each and every single one of you. Thank you for coming out and showing this moment of solidarity with us tonight. God bless you. God bless each and every one of you. And may you come to this house of worship and reach your homes safely, as is the right of those who come to seek companionship and solidarity under the house of God. Alhamdulillah, praises belong to God alone. We have a few brothers and sisters with us today that I'm honored to introduce. We have the pastor, Ben Sanders, who introduced us with a beautiful prayer. He's one of the members and he's the acting president of the Council of Religious Advisors for ASU, or for Arizona State University. He's a dear friend who's been showing his love and support and compassion since the minute that this began, since the minute that it started hitting the news outlets. My phone, I didn't respond to him immediately because I was, coming down with the flu, but I already felt that compassion and that love when I was reading his messages, and I had to respond. And he came with us and joined with us yesterday on Friday at our sermon with bravery, with compassion, and to show solidarity with the Muslim community in this city of Tempe. I'd like to introduce him to share a few words and to honor him.
St. Paul, the 12th chapter of Romans, wrote, "Rejoice with those who rejoice, weep with those who weep." We've had many days when we could rejoice together in this city, but today we weep. We weep for those who were callously killed and wounded in the Al Noor Mosque and Liquid Islamic Center in Christchurch, New Zealand, for their family, friends, and fellow congregants. We weep for you as a broader Muslim community after suffering a vicious attack against your fellow believers that has shocked the world. And we weep for communities of faith everywhere, reminded once more that we are all vulnerable, even as we seek to welcome people into our fellowship. At Arizona State University, we have been blessed to have positive and productive relationships among the many communities of faith through the Council of Religious Advisors, or CORA. The Islamic Community Center, ICC, is a valued member of CORA. And your pain and sorrow has become our pain and sorrow. Please be assured of our love, concern, and support as fellow members of the Council. But beyond this, what can we do together to make our campus and community even safer, more caring, and life-affirming through our collective good deeds? Indeed, the 12th chapter of Romans ends with this admonition: do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. I will conclude with a brief prayer, Franciscan benediction, slightly amended for this vigil. May God bless you with discomfort, at easy answers, half truths, and superficial relationships, so that together we live deep from within our hearts. May God bless you with anger at injustice, oppression, exploitation, and senseless murder of people, so that you may work for justice, freedom, peace, and safety. God bless you with tears to shed for those who suffer pain, rejection, hunger, war, and unspeakable loss, so that you may reach out your hand to comfort them and to turn their pain into joy. May God bless you with enough foolishness to believe that you can make a difference in the world, so that you can do what others claim cannot be done, to bring justice and kindness to all. And I'll just add, this was a prayer that I prayed last semester on October 30th, when we gathered for a similar vigil following shootings in the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh. At that same vigil, the mom to Will here at the Islamic Community Center began by proclaiming, "We love you." And closed by saying, "We have your backs." That was in the Jewish community. So yesterday I came here to ICC to express my sorrow and support for your community. And I heard Omar preaching. He spoke about mercy, peace, humility, and love in spite of the great tragedy. So following his teaching, I stepped back into the entryway as you prayed with your backs toward me. And I realized that quite literally, I had your backs. So to you, Omar, your fellow Muslims gathered here, I say, we love you. And we here in the Tempe community have your backs.
We'd also wish that you can weep and you can pray for the souls and the hearts and the minds that are poisoned by this rhetoric that leads them to commit such acts, whether it be in Pittsburgh or Christchurch, New Zealand, or anywhere else in the world where they enter holy ground into a mosque, a church, or a synagogue, or a temple, and they kill, and they attack, and they strike fear into the hearts of people who are trying to find peace with their Lord. So pray for them, weep for them, and do everything you can to combat that ideology that poisons the mind, that poisons the heart, and that corrupts the soul. We also have with us our dear sister, the Assistant Dean of Students at ASU, Sherry Gustafson. I met her when I first moved here and found out that we had a lot in common. She too grew up in the Middle East in Jordan, just feel like a neighborhood away from where I grew up. But again, she's here to show solidarity, friendship, and love. Please welcome her.
I'm Sherry Gustafson. I work in the Dean of Students office here at Arizona State University. I'd like to say that hearts and thoughts are with the victims, their families, the community at large that has been impacted by these horrific acts of violence. As we join together tonight in solidarity to honor those lives, it is evident that this is one community that truly cares for one another, and it is beautiful. As we struggle to process what has happened and grieve, I want you all to know there are many avenues of support available. For our students, the resources come from the Dean of Students office, as well as for counseling services. It is comforting to know that we do have each other to lean on during these tough times. But I want to encourage everyone, don't hesitate to reach out if you are struggling at this time. We are here for you. Peace to all. Thank you.
And I'd like to introduce Pastor Katie Sexton. She is the Executive Director of Arizona Faith Network. Please welcome her.
I bring you greetings tonight on behalf of the Arizona Faith Network. We are people of faith uniting for the we represent multiple faith communities all over this beautiful state. The psalmist cries out, "How long, O Lord? How long?" As the news broke and I heard what happened in New Zealand, my heart cried out with this. How long? How long until? How long until unity? How long until calm? How long until we do not have to be gathered as people of faith together mourning? Today, I want to state that the Arizona Faith Network and the communities and churches and synagogues and mosques and so many other communities of faith stand with our Muslim brothers and sisters. We are here by your side asking how long, praying with you, mourning with you, and also acting with you. We know that it cannot stop here. No person should ever be afraid to go to their house of worship to pray. Never. We do not live out our faith in fear. We live out our faith no matter what it is, for peace, for unity, and for justice. And we are here with you. You do not walk alone. We will walk with you until the day when we no longer have to ask, how long? Our prayers.
And Pastor Sue Ringer, she is the chairperson of Tempe AZ.
I'm so sad to be here again. I like it better when we're having our Thanksgiving celebrations and all the good things we do together. The Tempe Interfaith Fellowship has been around for a long time. And we're all one community. A lot of folks like to talk about the Muslim community and the Jewish community. It's one community. It's the Tempe community, with our beautiful Muslim members and our Jewish members and our Hindu members and our atheist members and our Unitarian members. And we're here for each other. That's what we do best. So if anybody feels alone or scared, or like they can't take one more step. Look around. People here care about you. They're here for you. We're here for each other. And that's how it all works. Amen.
Thank you very much. Now we'd like to introduce Paul Rockower from the Jewish Community Relations Council.
Assalamu alaikum. Shalom aleichem. We're here because we are mourning with you. We are grieving with you. We sit with you. We know this pain. We share this grief with you together. We will fight with you so that your community is safe, so that all our communities here are safe. We stand with you, we fight with you, and together we will build a world in which people are safe to be in their places of worship, so that our synagogues are safe, so that our mosques are safe, so that our churches are safe. These attacks happen on all of us. This happens in Charleston, this happens in Pittsburgh, and now this happens in Christchurch, New Zealand. We are all facing the same threat, and the only way we're going to get out of this is if we are together. We have to be together. Jews, Muslims, Christians, Hindus, Sikhs, we are facing the same hatred, the same threat, the same terror. We can only get out of this together. We've been down in this hole. We know this darkness. The only way that we get out of this darkness is we do it with the image I see in front of me of Jews, Muslims, Christians, Hindus, everyone together in the community being one. I bid you salam, shalom, and I pray for the peace for the community here and in New Zealand.
Next, I'd like to introduce Azla Sea from the Council on American Islamic Relations.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Azza Abu Saif and I'm a member of the Council of the American Islamic Relations. Excuse me, I'm a millennial, so I will be reading from my phone the whole time. We are your local civil rights organization that's focused on protecting our communities here in Arizona. So we do work, pro bono work, whether it's fighting for transgenders, for Islamophobia, for anti-Semitism. We're there wherever you'd like to support you. Unfortunately, the Muslim community in Arizona is acutely aware of the growing threat of hate groups that are constantly harassing and wishing our community harm. In the past couple of years, we've endured multiple armed mosque protests here in Phoenix. These armed hate groups even tried to enter the care office while being live on Facebook. So they would come to our offices with guns and try to knock on our doors. My brothers and sisters here today, there's a real climate of hate out there. And the threat is attempting to dehumanize the Muslim community, the Jewish community, the Hindu community, and all of our communities that are of color. Even though we're all devastated today, we will not be deterred, and nor will we be scared into silence. Now more than ever, we urge you guys and all of our allies and friends out here to call your legislators and senators and speak to them about getting rid of this rhetoric that's out here right now. Please, please, for all of us. And let's use our collective voices to change this.
Thank you so much. Next, I'd like to introduce Brother Mohammed Sharkawi. He is from the Muslim Police Advisory Board.
Thank you. I wanted to take this opportunity to send our condolences on behalf of my board, the Arizona Muslim Police Advisory Board, to all of the victims and all of the Also, I want to take this opportunity to thank all of the local law enforcement agencies that they were proactive. I sent an email that night to find out that all the chief of the police had instructed their department to increase patrol all over city mosques, schools, and centers. So, thank you, especially for Tempe PD. I was told by their chief, Sylvia Moyer, that some of her police officers came last night or yesterday during Friday prayer in their own time. They volunteered to come to protect this establishment. So, big shout out to all law enforcement. Thank you very much. And some of them are here with us today. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to ask on the spot if, I heard that the state representative Jennifer Germain is here. I was wondering if she wanted to come up and say a few words.
Thank you so much. I represent South Tempe in our State House of Representatives, and I wear these glasses every day. They were created by a member of this Islamic Community Center, Tara, and she reminds me every day to look at life through the lens of love. So I'm here through the lens of love, looking at all of you and wishing you peace, and I'm so sorry to be here today. Remember the 50 lives lost and the hundreds of others that were injured in Christ.
Next, I'd like to introduce Dr. Anissa Nadir. She's with the Islamic Social Services of Arizona, or USA, sorry.
So I'm a baby boomer, so I got paid, right? Assalamu alaikum and peace be with you. I want to thank our guests and friends for joining us in this time of sadness, grief, and loss. Your concern and your support are immensely appreciated. I represent the Islamic Social Services Association USA, which is a national organization headquartered here in Arizona and in Tempe, basically to address the social issues, the social service and mental health issues that the Muslim community and the society at large experiences. I want to send my condolences to the families of, and the victims of those who experienced the tragedy in New Zealand. Tragedies like this horrendous mass shooting in New Zealand impacts us all. It's not just something that happens to them, it's something that happens to all of us. Each time a tragedy like this happens, it tests our faith, it shakes us. Some of us experience extreme sadness, some of us experience depression, anxiety, some of us experience traumatic stress, grief, loss, hopelessness, helplessness. These are things that are natural in this time. So if you're feeling those kinds of feelings, know, as the dean said, you're not alone. And know that it's understandable. We don't want you to feel stigmatized. We don't want you to feel like you should be ashamed or embarrassed for those kinds of feelings. Remember, though, to take care of yourself and to take care of each other. I want to encourage each and every one of us to limit watching the news. It just continues to reopen the wounds. And it's hard to heal after that. And certainly don't watch the videos of the shootings. Remember to take care of yourself by getting your sleep, your rest, your nutrition, all those good things that sometimes when we're facing anxiety and depression and loss, we forget. Rely on your supports, including your family, your religious leaders, and the professionals in your community who are here to support you. Your therapists, your counselors, your clinical social workers, We are here to support you, and the East of the Islamic Social Services Association has put together and works with a network of professionals in the field. So if you're feeling like you need to talk to a professional, let us know so that we can reach out both to the Muslim professionals as well as the professionals of other faiths who are here in support. I just want to remind us to keep the faith, continue your prayers, remember the faith of the prophets, for they were tried with adversity as well. And remember to remain hopeful and know that God has got your back, just as you're doing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Anissa. Next, I'd like to introduce Roy Tatum with the NAACP.
Good evening. It is with extreme sadness that we all are gathered here to address our community. And while we all mourn or grieve or think about a moment that this has triggered, I am reminded of the story. I wasn't alive, but the story of the 4 little girls whose lives were lost when the 16th Street Baptist Church was bombed. I'm reminded of the 9 lives that was lost at Mother Emanuel Baptist Church in South Carolina. Reminded of the lives lost in Pittsburgh. And now something that happened all the way around the globe is affecting all of us today. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but hate is hate. Hate is alive. And we have got to unite against it. We've got to unite, we've got to work, we've got to organize around each other. Because it should not take a tragedy to bring all of us together, to work together, and fellowship together. But unfortunately, the realities that we're seeing in this world, we have got to do something. And just as we tell our children, when you see something, say something. It's just that simple. When you see something, say something. If you see something that's not right, if you see someone being bullied, if you see someone acting overly aggressive, if you see someone acting in a manner that is threatening, you gotta say something. We can no longer sweep these things under the rug, what we call microaggressions. We can no longer sweep those things under the rug. We can no longer say that the children taunting one another is just child's play. Or letting boys be boys. We can't, no. This is too serious now. I'm sorry, we gotta address the violent video games, the violent images that the children are seeing. We gotta address those things that normalizing. These are normalizing things that are normalizing brutality. And if anyone, and the reason why we have to remember what happened in the past, it was because it was allowed to dehumanize someone else. It was allowable to dehumanize black people. It was allowable to dehumanize the Jewish community. We're experiencing that now with our Muslim brothers and sisters. They're trying to dehumanize us to make it okay. We can't accept it. We cannot accept it. So we are human just like everyone else. Hate is here. It's real. And we've got to organize. And I'm proud to stand with our Muslim brothers and sisters, our Jewish brothers and sisters, our LGBT brothers and sisters, because we can't tolerate hate. We can no longer do it. So thank you all. I just want to share my sentiments and my condolences. And we as the NAACP are here with our brothers and sisters in the community. Thank you.
Next, I would like to introduce Burdette Hodge with the Tempe Union Governing Board. She's the president.
name is Bernetta Hodge, and I'm the president of Tempe Union High School Governing Board. And I'm here as a community person, but I'm also here as a person to say my condolences. And, you know, because what we have, what happens here, is happening, like Roy Tatum said, it's happening to everywhere. And I'm just at a point in my life that I'm so tired of being reactive. We need to start becoming proactive. We need to start educating our kids at a younger age. We need to get it out there. We need to, as community leaders and elected officials, we need to hold ourselves accountable so this doesn't happen anymore. It's happening in our classrooms. It's happening in our neighbors. It's happening there. When it comes to this tragedy, to bring us all here together to unite, this is a problem. We should have been having this conversation long before this happens. This is something that we need to be getting together and communicating together on not let this happen. And it's happened far too many times. One too many times isn't just one too many too much. So on my behalf, I'm going to do whatever I can to educate my students on this behalf until we get it. And I work with any community leader, anywhere possible that we can get this all solved. I want to put us at the table. We get to sit down. Tempe is the best place. We're very much indeed proactive and progressive in that. We need to sit down and maybe if we start the conversation, it could lead to other places. Thank you so much.
Okay, next I would like to invite from the West Valley Islamic Center, Omar Imtiaz.
Welcome everybody, and it's sad that we're all here. Happened in New Zealand, and when you think about it, it could have happened to any of us at our places of worship. You know, so I'm glad everyone's here. We're sending our condolences, our love, and when you look around, one point that I think about is just people in your life, your children, your spouses, parents. You know, talk to them. You know, be in touch with people, spread love. And again, I'm just sending our condolences on behalf of the West Valley Islamic Center out in Avondale. And this moment of silence and sending peace and love to everybody in New Zealand that was affected by this horrible tragedy.
Okay, next I'd like to invite Imam Motaz Motaf from the Islamic Center of the Northeast Valley in Scottsdale.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening to everyone. Thank you so much all for being here. That means a lot. And my word to you all, it is, if we don't stand together, if we don't feel for one another, if we don't feel the pain for each other, that some people will take advantage of us all the time. So my word tonight is that is for this great gathering, for this great feeling for each other. That is, I'm sure, that is the only way our enemies, I will call them enemies, because they are the enemies of the human being, or they are the enemies of the human being. So because of this kind of gathering, they will think twice before they do anything. So keep doing the great job. Know your neighbors. Know your neighbor. It's so important. It's so hard to love someone unless you love him, unless you know him. It's so hard to love. I'm sure that that guy who did that action, if he know that these people, if he was educated about them, he will never think for a second do something like that. May God guide us all. May God keep us together. We always pray for one city, for one state, for one country, for one family, for all to be together like one family. May God guide us all, and may God guide us to do more work of that kind of work, and may God let us all be together forever. Thank you. Amen.